Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Mahjong Talk. I'm your host, Peter Vong. If you're new to the channel, considering hitting a like, subscribe, or leave a comment down below to see how I can best improve this channel, because this is our channel. So let's get started. So what I want to talk about is basically just questioning everything, including things that you think about yourself. So the thing of it is that questions keep us humans moving forward. Some people don't think that way. Some people just think, oh, I just gotta just keep moving, you know? Don't question anything, just do it. And that's also true. But at the same time, questioning things, I believe, puts things in a better perspective, because we humans are always moving. We're always moving forward. And the thing of it is that in moving forward, we kind of distract ourselves from the pursuit of actually trying to see what is on the path that's before us. So what do I mean by that? Is that, say your destination is a town and you're in the middle of a desert. And basically, when you're trying to get to the town, you're more focused on getting to the town rather than observing what's going on in the desert. That's basically what it is. And it could be just plain sand. Like, it could be just plain sand around you, and you'll be like, oh, there's nothing but sand. There's nothing there. But then you see a cactus, and you're like, ah, it's just a cactus. It's there. But then you realize you're running out of water. But you're just basically like, no, the town is probably like another mile away. I'll hold out. You know, it's like those small little details. And the thing of it is that, like, I think we humans kind of neglect the small details. This is why I like thinking like a child, because when a child comes out into the world, they basically just question everything. They question everything because it's their natural tendency to do so. But unfortunately, because of society, we are meant to be wired to not concentrate on the things that don't earn us either money, food, water, or shelter. And also a clean toilet. That's another thing. And the thing of it is that I do believe we humans have to slow down, because we're so focused on actually getting to a destination that we don't realize that we're missing out on the small opportunities that are before us on the path itself. I mean, like this YouTube channel, for example. For me, I started being more active on Twitter. And by the way, if you want to follow me on Twitter, links down below, and also a little reminder on the screen there, just in case, you know. And you can also follow me on Instagram as well. But getting back to what I was saying is that, you know, there's small opportunities that you never really think to look for, especially when you're on this grind, because we're so into hustle culture. This is my second chance. I'll probably take that. But I'll be in footy 10. Oh, that sucks. Okay, no problem. We'll just try to work around it. We'll try to work around this. See, I was focused on winning right now, but unfortunately, I just missed the foresight. And, oh, this person declared breach, so that means I'm going to have to play a little bit safer now. I should have kept those Norse. I wish I could have kept those Norse. See, that's what I'm talking about. You miss those small details on the pursuit. Because I'm so focused on winning. I'm focusing on actually getting the win. It's kind of funny because, like, whenever I talk to you guys, sometimes when I play this game, it somehow matches with the examples that I'm basically trying to discuss with you guys. But yeah. Yeah, I'll do that. Oh, but that still leaves me in footy 10 somewhere. Yeah, that still leaves me in footy 10. That still doesn't help. Which means I gotta find another simple tile to replace this one. And hopefully it won't be one that I already discarded. Okay. Well, I'm still gonna pay up anyway. Yeah, like, there are some things that we all question about ourselves, whether it be our insecurities, how we interpret things, especially when we're up against the wall with things. Like, say you really want to be promoted. You really want to be promoted, and you basically observe everybody that is working with you. And there's some people in the office, some people say that this person's lazy, some people say, oh, you should stick around with this person because he's really hardworking, you know. And it also goes with that, I think what we humans usually tell each other in society is like, follow the successful people, which is true, because there's people that have done the same thing that you want to pursue, and you want to actually follow them because it can help you get to where you want to be, because you kind of envision that to where you want to be. But at the same time, life is unpredictable. Many people like to say that life is like a basket, like the world works like this when they have experienced it in a certain way. So for instance, I'm an introvert, and as an introvert, we're surrounded by people that think that basically the world is dominated by extroverted people, or at least dominated by people that really want extroverts. But ever since, the coming out of social media, and YouTube is becoming more popular for the young generation to want to become YouTubers and influencers, it's leaning towards more introverted, an introverted economy, I believe. I could be wrong. You can you can correct me in the comments down below. And the truth of the matter is, if you guys have followed me for a while, you guys know that I have an interest in mathematics and physics. And what I've learned from, reading the physics books, for like layman's people that need to follow physics in layman's terms, is that physics can't really predict the future. It can't really predict the future accurately. It's something involved with particles, and I'm not going to bore you with too much, but basically the study of particles, like the things that make all of us, we can't determine exactly how they're going to be based on the equations that we have. In other words, we can't predict where they're going to be. They could be here, or there, or everywhere. In other words, we can only predict the probability of where they're going to be. And particles actually dictate the behavior of everything that goes around in the universe. So if we can't predict the smallest things that actually make all of us, then how can we predict the future that has not been foreseen yet? And many people try to predict the future as much as they can by their actions. They basically try to set up certain milestones for themselves because that's probably how it worked for someone that they looked up to who was successful in that particular niche or field. But the thing of it is that some people don't even know what they need to be successful and happy. That's the whole thing, is like, how do I be successful and happy? Because some people can be successful, but they're totally miserable. They're totally miserable. Like, either they probably don't have like a person that they can share their life with. They probably don't have friends. And some people can be just happy, but they're not like AKA successful in a sense of human, I guess the sense of economic standards, such as like they're probably working up like probably 5 part-time jobs or something like that. I hope not, because everybody needs a rest, especially those that work hardest out of all of us. Positive vibes to those people, actually. And for me, I mean, some people think I'm successful because at least I have a home. I have a home. I have my family. And but I wasn't successful in this one. Okay, 2,000 wins. 2,000 wins is not that bad. It's not that bad. But I am in last place. Anyway, some people think that I'm not successful because I'm not living in my own house or not living in my own apartment per se. Ooh, I'll take that south, thank you. And it's all about interpretation. It's all about interpretation. And also, I think, the path that people think that we should follow to be successful, whether it be, being financially independent, financially free, they're all followed by, a person that probably has been successful beforehand. And the thing of it is that I question about who was the first person to actually patent this idea of a path, like a set path that people want to follow. So, for instance, who was the person that was the first financially free person? And when you look back, it's all the way back to the days when we were Neanderthals back in the Stone Age. And the thing of it is that they were financially successful because they didn't have money. They just basically hunted and just lived in caves or lived in forests and were hunters and gatherers, And And so the thing of it is that what freedom are we looking for? And I think the freedom that we're looking for is basically the ability to be ourselves. Because on Twitter, we basically talk about, oh, we're so tired from work. I just want to sit down and eat ice cream all day. I mean, it's not healthy, but at the same time, we just want to, like, there are times when we just want to be sloth. We just want to be sloth and, like, sit down and not worry about things. Like, not worry about the world around us all the time. And of course, we also don't want to feel negative about things either. Now, some of us blame our ego for basically saying, oh, we're lazy because it's our ego telling us to be lazy. I don't think that's the case. I think basically we're lazy for a reason. We lounge around because we feel as if the world is going too fast and we just basically just want to chill. We just want to chill and just not have to worry about so much about the outside world as much. Of course, you have to be informed about what's going on, but at the same time, you don't have to be informed about everything that's going on. Because if you're informed about everything, you begin to be overwhelmed by that stuff. And also, many people have different experiences. They have different experiences and different ways of interpreting things. Some people really like to make fun of conspiracy theorists, and because, like, say, like, they believe that the Earth is flat. Sure, I believe the Earth is round, but at the same time, like, I question on whether or not, why is it that they interpret it that way? And, they go into much valid arguments, like, oh, it's the government basically trying to push this narrative on you, or it's people trying to push this narrative on you. And the thing of it is that why are they pushing that narrative? And you begin to questioning and go into this rabbit hole. And then you begin to know exactly what the conspiracy theorist is going through, because they're always questioning things that you probably never would have thought of in the first place. And that's how we adults go through life, is that we think that just because it doesn't matter to our own survival, we don't question things. But also, questioning things doesn't mean it has to be something like a conspiracy or anything. It could also be something that could be just inherently beautiful, such as, why is the sky blue? Or why is it that tides come in? It's those small little questions that make scientists. And also for mathematics too, because mathematics, we use mathematics to model patterns in reality. Of course, many mathematicians that don't care about the physical world say that no, math is just its own thing. But at the same time, for me, the reason why I got into mathematics and physics is because I believe it does reflect our physical reality in some way. I'm not sure exactly how, but at the same time, we do have physics, and physics is based on science, but it also has mathematical equations that dictate the behavior of certain physical phenomena. So it makes me question on what is the relationship between mathematics and the world around us. Because when you look at quantum mechanics, the study of particles, it's all based on math. It's all based on math mainly. Can I do this? Can I do this? I need another 5. I need another 5 to make this hand ready. Ooh. Gotta discard this. I think I can only save myself. I don't think I can be in Tempai or waiting. Waiting on one tile. Oh, this person doesn't have an 8, but I'm stuck between 2 bad tiles. That's probably it. Okay, good. Oh, I'll skip that. I don't want to open. Can I do it? Oh, okay, wow. It's coming in clutch. Coming in clutch. I don't know if I'm going to get it, though. Sumo? Oh, Khan. Okay. Okay, at least I get some like waiting points. But I do have to try to catch up because I'm in 4th place. But yeah, the thing of it is that questioning everything is not a bad thing. It's just basically just taking a time to slow down and basically think about how can we make this work, or how can we make this work, or what is this thing? Why is this thing so interesting to me? You know, that sort of thing. But also, you know, why is it some things are the way they are? And I have a tendency to question social norms. Because social norms are the thing that I question the most, because since I'm an introvert and I have a little bit of social anxiety, I'm not officially diagnosed, but at the same time, I feel like I do have a tendency to like kind of avoid human contact at times, because I just feel as if it's kind of overwhelming for me at times. Of course, being first generation American, my parents don't speak very good English, so I have to make phone calls for them all the time. And I always question on why is it that I feel so nervous just trying to speak to the phone to someone who's a service representative who is supposed to help me. And, you know, I think the reason why I don't work in an office is because of that, because they always are on the phone all the time, or they're doing emails. Emails don't bother me though. But at the same time, I have to actually like literally talk to people more than I want to. But also, I then question my own ego. And also questioning your own ego is also a beneficial thing, because it can also make you stronger in a way. And I question my ego all the time, but I sometimes question it to the point where it debilitates me in some ways, which is also not good. Because we all are humans, and all of us have our own insecurities. Like for me, it's socialization, and also interpreting what humans say compared to how they feel about what I said to them, if that makes any sense. So for instance, a person could say one thing, but then I interpret it as a different thing, and then I say something and it totally offends them based on what I said. Like I'm afraid of offending people sometimes, because I'm so used to being misunderstood a lot of the times. But since I've gotten older, I've gotten used to actually apologizing for that, because, you know, it's not like I can't read social cues. Like I can, like if someone's crying, obviously I know they're sad. But at the same time, when it comes to like subtle things, like those subtle social norms, like a certain movement and body language and whatnot, I kind of miss it. And maybe that's because I'm not being observant of what the person is doing or how the person is reacting. I'll try that. Let's see what that. Ooh, that helps. That really helps. Not me. That doesn't help me though. Well, now I have my last chance. East 4. East 4. Last chance. Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. But this hand, I don't know how this hand will help me. Yeah, it's a bit of a mess. So, you know, I ask myself, what am I afraid of most of the time? And, you know, and as I've said, I've been a little bit squeamish about, like, you know, getting out of my comfort zone and all that stuff. At the same time, I'm also fearful of being in a toxic environment where I can't get out of. And I think that's the reason why I mostly don't want to work in an office. Because when you work in an office, the probabilities of you being in a toxic environment are probably higher than most. But of course, people will say, well, like, you're basically, why are you making it so negative and all that stuff? And that is true. That is true. Fear also keeps us away from things that can hurt us, but also it can also prevent us from taking opportunities that we can take advantage of. Like, oh, cool. I'm in third place. Minus 16. Okay, another match. Yeah, and the thing of it is that, you know, whenever it comes to like times when I feel just completely stressed out, I think about all the my favorite characters from like anime or cartoons in general. Like this week, I've been focused on mainly listening to. If you guys have ever seen Avatar: The Last Airbender, my favorite character is. I think a lot of people's favorite character is Iroh. Iroh is supposed to be like the wise character of the entire series because he mainly he's the character that mostly gives proverbs because he's just been through so much. And you know, we as the audience, we see his journey throughout the series. He's not the main character, but he's like one of the characters that we want to reflect upon because obviously he's like the wise man character, and you know that you really appreciate him for what he offers to the main characters because he lets the main characters have clarity and reflect upon why they feel certain emotions. And I think that's what life is all about. That's the reason why we humans like go through certain struggles, is because we're questioning on how to interpret it. Because unlike, let's say, a book or a cartoon series or a movie, we don't have a camera, or at least like a point of view. We only see our point of view, but we don't see like the point of view of other people. And the thing of it is that when you believe in something, you're afraid of speaking out because you're afraid that people will interpret it as you being preachy and you basically be on a high horse. And the thing of it is that I question on why people feel so insecure about people that are actually speaking truth, about their own personal truth, I mean. Such as like, you know, oh, we shouldn't punish this person, like sending them to the death penalty because they have murdered somebody. And like someone will be like, oh, get off your high horse. You don't know what you're talking about. This person killed somebody. And, you know, it all goes back to like basically society trying to like put us in a box. Like, and we shouldn't question things because it could basically hurt our ego in doing so. It can also hurt someone else's ego. And I think that's the reason why people kind of feel as if they don't have as much power when it comes to like actually speaking up, especially when you're an adult. Because we humans have a negativity bias. And that negativity bias prevents us from actually questioning our own moral ethics at times. And some people's moral ethics is like more flexible than others. By flexible, I mean in a negative sense. Like, you know, like it's like that concept where you think certain people deserve to die, even though you know internally that that's not the right mindset to think about things. But it does exist. And, you know, it's a dark thing to actually question those things. But we humans, we go through that every day. And the point I'm making in this video is that it's not really a bad thing to question that. It's just a good thing to basically say, okay, to keep your ego in check. Because our ego does have a tendency to prevent us from doing the things we fear to do and make us uncomfortable. But at the same time, it can also prevent us from being a darker version of ourselves at times. Now, some people can actually dwell on questioning themselves for too long and they just can't let it go. And that's representative of guilt. Because some people have done something and they feel completely guilty. And they feel as if they let go of that guilt, that it will make them become a worse human being that they perceive themselves to be, or that they perceive like someone worse than them are, which is a very terrible death trap. It's a terrible psychological death trap. I don't think I'm gonna be in. Well, don't worry. I still have like 4 more rounds. Hopefully I can get some points back. Hopefully. Yeah, because we humans tend to put ourselves in a death spiral at times. And this is not me to be doom and gloom. This is me trying to find a way to navigate how to get out of that. Because we humans, we just don't know how to navigate out of getting into a mental downward spiral. And that's why we have people that are therapists. And therapy can really help somebody. Of course, we humans don't know exactly when we need therapy, and that's like the biggest question. But the best thing is that the best moment in a person's life is when they realize that there's a problem and only they have the power to solve it. And that's when people try to seek therapy. They try to seek professional help, or just seek advice from a friend. Because sometimes even from our friends, we don't really want to tell about our own insecurities, because we know our friends go through different experiences. And sometimes what our friends have to say might not be the right messaging that we really need to hear to release us from those negative emotions. Because I've been through that sometimes. There are sometimes when I am in deep turmoil that I don't even know exactly who to turn to when I'm in that deep turmoil. And sometimes we also have a habit of comparing our problems with somebody else's. So say that you're going through a bad day at your job, but then you have a friend that basically has been through being homeless and has dealt with, going against the world at all odds that you've never faced before, such as, being homeless, being able to build something from nothing, and then basically now they have an apartment, and, they're living life the way that they really wanted to in order to survive. At the same time, you look at yourself and you basically man, I really hate my job. I really want to leave because the environment is toxic. My boss gives me a lot of grief, that sort of thing. And you feel as if your emotions are invalid because, you have somebody in your inner circle that basically has been through so much. And you're like, why can't I be as strong as them? Why can't I, pull through this? Why is it that I have this lump on my shoulders? And the thing of it is that I think the thing is that pain is individual because it's based on our own experiences. And the truth of the matter is that since pain is individual, each one of us goes through a unique sense of pain because of those different experiences. And it really does suck when you know that your experiences feel like they're invalidated, especially by a large majority of people around you. Which shows that we humans also need to listen and try to think about questioning why is it that certain people feel this certain way. So for instance, let's say the friend of yours who basically was homeless, and you try to convey your problems to them because you have no other alternative. They will have to question themselves, why is it that you feel this way? Why is it that my friend is going through so much difficulties, even though they have a home and even though they have money to support themselves, even though they're on their way to being probably successful. And the thing of it is that we humans do have a desire for things such as human connection, the need to be understood. Okay. I thought someone else won off me again. Well, at least it wasn't me. I'll probably someone will make a compilation of the amount of times I say, at least it wasn't me. At least it wasn't me. Yeah, discard that. And the truth of the matter is that yeah, it's good to question yourself, but it's good for you to question things around you and also how you would feel about things, because that allows you to clarify things. And sometimes you don't know how to interpret things. That's why we go to people for advice. We go to people for advice because we want to know, why is it that we feel this much either pain or sorrow or this sense of loss? And I think a lot of people go through that all the time. But that's what we have friends for. And that's also why we have people that are therapists that basically help you navigate these difficulties. Because, as I said, I believe reality is more of a physical construct. So I do believe that reality is like what theoretical physicists have said it is. It's just a quantum mechanical probability that it's not easily interpreted. And the thing of it is that that's what I believe human existence is that, even though we have society and society gives us these social norms, aka rules, that we humans have to interpret and basically digest in order to reiterate what people expect from us. We also have to keep in mind that life is not all about just predicting how things will turn out and basically follow through with those guesses that we make. In other words, you can work as hard as you want to achieve a certain goal that you see, but at the same time, that is not guaranteed that you're going to get that certain result. In other words, you want to be financially free, but you're constantly faltering between being unhappy as well as I guess delaying your gratification for what you truly need, if that makes any sense. Dang. This is... I'm gonna need, like... I think I need a Pong of these three, but I don't think I'm gonna get it. I need like a 5 or a 4 here. Of circles, anyway. Yeah, and the thing of it is that I think when we question things, it puts our place in the world in a better perspective, because we're not like a hero that's meant to save everybody. We're also not the villain that's meant to destroy everybody. Ooh. Oh, I'm in footy tent either way. Okay, I have to do a different alternate plan here. Okay, like I said, at least it wasn't me. At least it wasn't me. Okay. Oh, take it from the first place player. That can really help balance the game out. Okay. Can I make this work? I think this hand... Oh, this hand is pretty decent. I could probably work with this. No. Excuse me. Anyway. I would have to say, you know... I try to question my ego all the time. Especially when I argue with somebody and then I have to reflect on exactly why did I say a certain thing to this person. And the argument doesn't have to be heated or completely, you know, about like emotions or like drama. It could be like just something like, you know, I believe a certain thing. And this person basically make me rethink about those beliefs. And the thing of it is that also your beliefs is also tied to your ego. And also, why is it that you hold on to those beliefs so stringently? And I think when people question your beliefs, you have to ask yourself, it's not about changing your beliefs, it's about making your beliefs more flexible to fit into a narrative that maybe another person doesn't follow. In other words, you have to know how to be flexible with other people, but also know how to when to speak up when you know the person is not being logically coherent, at least for your point of view, because each one of us has different points of views. Each of us has different experiences, like I said, and those experiences help shape the belief systems that we make. In other words, shaping our own ego. For instance, I've always lived in a suburb, and you know, I don't know what life is like in the city, you know. And you know, someone that lives in the city probably has a lot of different experiences than I do, obviously. And you know, like there's also street smarts as well, because you don't know like what people will take advantage of you, because their own point of view is that I have to survive and I have to take advantage of so many people because my survival depends on it. But there's also like people that are just like, I gotta help as many people as I can, because obviously, you know, who is there to help these people. And that can also be tied to your own ego as well, because some people help a lot of people, but at the same time they think that they're the only ones that should do that, which is also pretty toxic as well. But also for people that believe that survival is bent on manipulating people, twisting people's words, or making people view certain individuals a certain way, that's also not good. So it's finding that proper balance is what makes life pretty difficult to navigate. But of course, we humans, we know that it's difficult to navigate. I think the problem is that we don't know how to actually explain this navigation process. And that's the difficult part, because each human has a different path to follow, and they have to follow their own path. But a lot of people just don't know how to sculpt their own path. That's the difficult part. And that's when we have, like, people that are just stuck in a little bit of a twist and turn type of scenario within their own path. Okay, let me just switch to my screen here. Just check there. Okay. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's episode. If you're new to the channel, consider hitting a like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you can keep updated on my latest videos. So whether you're watching me on your break from work, or you're basically just driving home, like listening to me, just be careful while you're driving, by the way. Or you're just basically listening to me in an armchair, like while you're sitting in an armchair relaxing. Just know that everybody's precious. You are just as precious as everyone else. Positive vibes to you all. And I will see you guys in the next video. Take care.